Hi everyone! Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the first video, everything is very new, I hope you will like it. Hi everyone! Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the first video. I'm so happy I finally have a YouTube channel. I bought a camera, I bought a microphone and a light, and now I'm going to do YouTube videos. What a news! Some times ago, I asked you on my Instagram stories to ask me questions for my first YouTube video. So here we are. Let's go. First question. Did you play the modern cello first? And when? Why did you switch to viola da gamba, baroque? Okay. I started playing cello when I was 8 years old. I started playing piano when I was 4. Then I started with the violin when I was 7. But I didn't like the violin so much because at one concert I saw a cello for the first time. And I told my mother, I want to play this one, it's low sound, it is beautiful sound. And so we changed and I started playing the cello. And I continued playing the cello. So when I was 13, 14, I moved to Vienna to study cello. It was quite a change for my life because I couldn't speak German, but it was an opportunity and I got this wonderful teacher. So I moved with my mother and my father came on the weekends. It was quite a lot and quite exciting, but of course I'm very glad I did that now, but then it was hard. Imagine I went to school and I couldn't really talk German very much, so it was quite struggling at the beginning, but the chance was amazing and I learned so much and the cello teacher was amazing, and so yeah, we did it. Then couple of years later, I was still a teenager. I walked into the CD shop in Vienna and I heard this wonderful sound. I didn't know which instrument it was actually. And I asked the guy working there and he gave me the CD. I bought it and it was a viola da gamba CD. And I was listening all the time to this viola da gamba CD. But I thought that I'm never going to be able to play the viola da gamba. It's a different instrument, it's completely different, it's baroque. I was studying Dvorak concerto and these things. So it was another word. But then my teacher, my viola da gamba teacher, who I had later, called my mother at her office to ask her something completely different. And then they talked and she found out he is a viola da gamba teacher, actually one of the best, and we didn't know. And she told him, oh, my daughter loves viola da gamba, and he was like, okay, she should come and try. So I just walked in his place and he gave me a viola da gamba, like, okay, try. So I tried and I realized that I love this instrument. Second, it is not so different. I mean, it is different from the cello, but not so much as I thought. My imagination was like completely different. So I started playing the viola da gamba, of course, parallel to the cello. I didn't stop playing the cello, of course. But then my cello teacher found out that I'm playing a second instrument and this was not okay. And it's understandable also because I had a lot of practice, many programs and difficult pieces, and yes, I had to concentrate on my first instrument. But still I went on playing because I loved it. But I couldn't play concerts because I was not allowed to play it in public. Nobody should know. So for some years I went on playing like this, having lessons but not being able to play concert with the viola da gamba. So then I played a lot of cello, I did a bachelor and a master. I also played a lot at the State Opera as a substitute in the stage orchestra. I played so many tours as a soloist, and at some point I realized I have to do something with my life, something different. So I decided to try 1 month without the cello, just with the viola da gamba. And I did it, and then it was 2 months, and then 3 months. I cancelled everything for 1 year with the cello to concentrate on the viola da gamba, to catch up on things. And then, I mean, of course, everybody was thinking I'm crazy because I had a master with the cello. I played at the opera house. I played concert at the soloist orchestra. And everybody was thinking, what is he doing? But I think one should always listen to the heart and what's important for the life and what do I really want for my life. And it wasn't so obvious to play the viola gamba for me, of course. But then, of course, I didn't leave the cello completely. But that 1 year, yes. And I realized that I don't miss it so much as maybe one would imagine. And viola da gamba was amazing. And so I decided to do the viola da gamba as my first instrument. And then, in life, when you take the right decision, then things start to go on and get better and work somehow from itself. I'm convinced about that. And so I got them a lot of concerts, and I got, interest from people and also from the recording label, which called me. They called me, and I got a call. And I remember the moment when I picked up my phone and it was a recording label calling me and telling me that they want some material to check. And so that's it. The decision was quite clear then. Of course, I didn't leave the cello I play, but I did some break. I needed it. And yeah, the viola gamba. Let's see the second question. How did you start your career as a soloist? Well, I just explained that, I guess. But let me add something. I'm the person that always, even as a child, loves to be in the center of attention, but just musically, not as a person. I'm quite shy. Also at parties, I don't like to be the center of attentions. But on the stage, when I play something, I like that people hear me. I love playing orchestra because of the music, because it's amazing and overwhelming when 130 people are playing together, and it's wonderful. But still, it was not my way for my whole life, and I had the feeling that nobody's hearing me in the orchestra. So it's a pity, actually, because I have something to say to the audience. I want to do something and to tell them something. So that's actually why I play as a soloist, not because I want to be, I don't know, the center of the attention that way, or to be, I don't know, diva or something. I'm not. I'm actually really quite shy. But when I'm on the stage, I love to have the feeling that I can do something for the audience and also change the mood or give them some energy. And that's a beautiful feeling. I love that. Also with friends, I love when I can help them somehow and give some positive feelings and energy. And it's the same on the stage. So that's actually why. Let me take some tea. So the next question. Your favorite book? This is difficult. I must admit, I didn't prepare the questions before because I wanted to answer spontaneously. So I have to think about this. It is really difficult. But one book, okay, now you're going to think I'm crazy. One book that is always somewhere near me, everywhere, not on travel, but at home, is the etymological dictionary. Because I love to read the history of the words and the etymological meaning. So I think I had to go with this one, which is quite strange. Yeah, but the etymological dictionary. But maybe I will tell you also other things I like to read. I love Franz Kafka. I read almost everything by him. I love the German style of his writing, and also, of course, Goethe in German. So the style of his writing is just so well. It's music. It's like music. It's so wonderful. Also the stories. I love it. Then The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Yes, I mean, I love Christmas. And the meaning of this book for the general Christmas spirit, and also the some traditions we have today, and also the story is so amazing. You know, to be a good person, to help others, what can be better? So I had to go with this one. Of course, there are so many other books I love, but we don't have hours, so I will stop it here. So next one. How long have you been playing cello? Oh well, I explained that before, so I started when I was 8. And I will never tell you how old I am, so you can imagine. Okay. Could you tell us how and when did you leave Italy to go to Austria? I already told you that. So when I was 13, 14, and it was really difficult, I tell you. Imagine to change country and not knowing the language, and also, even though Austria is quite near to Italy and culturally is similar in many aspects, but still there are cultural aspects that are not easy. And oh my god, I can't show you this, but a wonderful bird just stopped on my window. Yes, it's a robin. I love it's my favorite bird. So maybe another question. My favorite bird, yes, robin, and he's just sitting there next to my window and watching me. So sorry. And go back to the topic. And he's still watching me. Yeah. So it was not the easiest thing to change the country as a teenager and knowing nobody, almost nobody. Yeah, but I did it, and now I'm happy about it, of course. Last question. Oh, this is a very good question. Tips on making a program for a recital? How do you do it? I think that choosing wisely the music for a program is the first step to have a successful concert. There are so many aspects. For example, where are you going to play? Are you going to play in a big hall, in a small hall? Are you going to play in a church with a lot of acoustic? Are you going to play in a very dry, modern hall? So where are you going to play? Because, to choose very slow, difficult pieces that require a little bit of sound in a modern dry hall is not the best choice to feel comfortable. And to feel comfortable on stage is very important. To be relaxed and to bring a lot of energy to the audience. So this is the first thing, the hall. Then think about, the bird is still there. He's watching me. In my part of Italy, there is this ancient belief that robins are somehow the souls of the dead family members, and they guard on us. So that's why I'm so excited that this bird is sitting there and looking at me. Okay. So, but back to the program. I'm sorry. So the first thing is the venue. Second thing is, what kind of festival, what kind of concert is this? Is there a motto? Is there a story you have to tell? Because some festivals have this huge thing about, I don't know, music of the 18th century, or love and I don't know what. There is this kind of title of a festival. So you have to mind that. Where you're playing, is it just a concert you can choose, or is it in some kind of festival? What does the people organizing the concert want you to play? Because if they love to hear music from the 18th century and you're playing Hume, then maybe, I mean, Hume is a composer from the early 17th century, for not viola da gamba players. So if you're playing another program they maybe don't expect, so be clear with them, ask them what they want to hear, what kind of motto the festival or the concert should have. So the third thing will be think about the audience you're playing for. Because if the audience is very used to listening to your kind of music, they are experts maybe, and they are very, very passionate about this is one thing. But if you're playing, for example, at a place where people are on holidays and they come to the concert because they have nothing else to do, have no idea, and they just sit there, and then you have to, to give them something interesting, still not having a clue what you're doing. I mean, they are not having a clue what you are doing. I had concerts, of course, I play viola da gamba, which is, of course, not the easiest and most well-known instrument of the world. So I had people coming to my concert and they told me after that, oh, I loved the concert, I have no idea. Normally I listen to, I don't know, heavy metal music, but I liked it, and I played a concert with music from the 17th century. But still, somehow the pieces were nice to hear, not too difficult, so they enjoyed it. Okay, so I was lucky. But of course, if I play at a baroque festival, where I know the audience there loves baroque, then I can choose a program. If I play at a festival or a concert in some place where people never heard the viola da gamba in their life, then I'm going to choose another program. So this is very important. Then the fourth thing is to think about what program you like to do and to choose wisely pieces that are comfortable for you. And if you have pieces that are not comfortable, that are very hard, very difficult, quick, or I don't know, this kind of pieces, then never put them at the beginning or at the end. Because at the beginning, of course, one could be a little bit nervous, you don't know the acoustic, maybe you didn't have a rehearsal in this room. So you need a piece which you played thousands of times, you feel well with it, and it's okay for you to just go on the stage and sit, and you know in your mind that the first piece you're playing is okay because you know it, so it's okay. Nothing can happen, even if you're super nervous, even if there is people coughing in the audience, or I don't know, children screaming, or people are making noises with the chairs, somebody's coming in late, or if the acoustic is a catastrophe and you didn't realize it. So to calm down, to check everything, the first piece, I do it that way. The first piece in my programs are always the piece I know well, and also are not too difficult to listen to, because mind that people come to the concert, you don't know, maybe they just came out from the office, they worked all day, they are tired, they took a taxi or they took the subway, they were late probably, they come into the room, into the hall, they sit there and open the programs, and they're like, okay, okay, today I'm going to listen to this one. And until they calm down from this stressy day, from some problems, from everything, until they calm down, they need some minutes of music. So be assured that the first couple of minutes, not many, are really, really listening with care. Many people just are, okay, they're arriving, and then they start looking at the hall. Oh, nice music. And then they start listening. I always feel the first minutes of a concert, everybody's so nervous in the audience, and then I really feel at the moment with all these corona things, not really, because they're not concert, but where the audience is here, that I feel a wave of calmness coming to me when people finally start to relax. So this is a very important thing. Then you can choose a piece which is challenging, maybe also the second or the third, or I don't know, in the middle of the program. I would put this challenging piece, also quick and fast and virtuoso. And then at the end of the program, I would also choose a piece that people remember when they go home, because the last thing they hear, I mean the encore, of course, if you play an encore, but the last piece in the program should be one of the best ones. They will remember and it's amazing and they love it. So mind that also. So these are the things that one can choose wisely. Next question. 5 composers that you think we should absolutely know better. Educate the masses. Great. Oh, these questions are always very hard to answer, of course, because there are so many amazing composers. I would first go with Leonardo da Vinci. If you don't know Leonardo da Vinci, not Leonardo da Vinci, not that one, Leonardo Vinci, who was an Italian composer of the early 18th century. And he composed amazing operas, amazing baroque operas. They're amazing. So please, if you don't know him, go and you can Google, for example, Artaserse by Leonardo da Vinci, and you will see wonderful music. Well, then I will say Joseph Lanner, who was a Viennese composer of the early 19th century. Maybe you know him, but if you don't know him, he was next to Johann Strauss, the father, and also Schubert. He was a very, very important composer for Viennese music, waltzes, for example, and his music is wonderful. So it's another, of course, it had nothing to do with Baroque, and Leonardo da Vinci is wonderful. Then, this is really hard. Then I would go with a viola da gamba composer, with Andreas Liedl, who was a German cellist and viola da gamba player. He was really, really wonderful. It sounds a little bit in the style of Haydn, of course, but more with a viola da gamba touch, I would say. It's hard to describe, but you can listen to him. He was amazing. Then I would go with a composer who is not really unknown. But I still think that many don't know him. Of course, viola da gamba players, Baroque music enthusiasts, and Baroque music players know him, but not everyone. So Marin Marais, his music is from another world, so don't miss it. And the most unknown composer I would ever mention is actually there are 2. It's father and son, Francesco de Fauner and Giuseppe de Fauner. Which actually, I think their actual name is Franz Fauner and Josef Fauner, and they were Viennese composers. They worked actually not as a musician. I think they were lawyers or some other totally different job. But they were wonderful composers. I played few pieces by them. They're totally unknown. I only know music by them on manuscripts. But it's beautiful. I don't know, maybe someday I will record something by them. They're just so good. Really good. Last question. What is your favorite dish? I think, although I like many different dishes and also different styles, Japanese and of course Italian, Austrian, I don't know, many, but I have to go with the gnocchi alla romana from my grandmother. It's a very basic recipe actually, but it's really good. It's just not much, not even potatoes. And there is parmesan, cheese and butter and a couple of other things. And you know, my grandmother already died, so I have her recipe and I tried to do it. But it's not the same, of course, because, yeah, grandmother is grandmother. So I had to go with this one. I would love to eat it again, but made by her. That would be amazing.